Hi guys, so today I want to show you how to build a ChatGPT app when you already have an API. So my client has an API that lists all the IVF clinics near the user location and also let the user compare the clinic success rate. In this demo, I'm going to show you just how easy it is to turn that API into a working ChatGPT app. So first I'm going to go to Fractal and I'm going to use this API to create an app that shows IVF clinics near the user location. And I need to give it the link to the API doc. Okay, let's go. So now Fractal has a planning agent that will show you, ask you questions, it's going to read the API library to understand the API, and then ask you questions so that it can better help you build a ChatGPT app. It gives you more control about what you want to build. Okay, ask me a few questions now. I want to show a map. And I think just ignore the success rate for now. Have two endpoints, but I'm just going to focus on one at a time. You can always add it later on if you want. All right. So now the agent is going to propose a plan on what it suggests the app should be. Okay, so in this plan, it realized that my API needs an API key. So I'm going to go and enter the key. And over here, it explained exactly how it's going to build my app. Like these are going to be the tools, what the input would be like, and what the output would look like. It also shows me like what kind of prompts. It's so important for me to test, to try to understand which prompt this app would work and which prompt it doesn't work. This follow the ChatGPT guideline on how you should build an app. So it has the direct prompt, indirect prompt, the negative prompt, and also like what the UI would look like. So over here, the UI is a map of the clinics. This is exactly what I wanted. I don't have any things I want to change. Obviously, if I have something I want to change, I can keep talking to it to change the plan. But this is exactly how I want it. So I'm just going to ask it to build. And now it's going to start building it for me. It may take up to 10 to 15 minutes for it to build the app, but it's going very thoroughly, including testing your endpoint to make sure your endpoint works. in these particular examples, my documentation is actually not even accurate. So once it get the response from the endpoint, if it see any discrepancy, it will fix it for you. So it's a very, very thorough agent. I am going to pause the video because it's going to take a while, and I will come back when it's done building. Looks like the agent is almost finished building. I can see the preview here. And I can see it, what it looks like on desktop as well. Oh, I can see the code as well, to see if it do anything weird, that I want to fix. I can see what it looks like on desktop. This is what it looks like on mobile. This is what it looks like on desktop. It's running into a little bit of issues with my API. I'm just going to wait for it to fix. While it's building, I can walk you through the structure of the code here. So I have a handler file, an example JSON. So for it to help you quickly preview what the app look like, we actually use example data instead of pinging your server every single time there's a change. And the example data is in this example JSON. We have the schema over here. We have a config file. Let me pin this up so that we can easily see. This config file is pretty much ask the models, instruct the model how to use your tool. So over here you can see we actually make a very, very good metadata for your app. And we find that most of the apps that use our, we find that most of the apps that use Fractal have so much better performance than most of the apps that are currently on the ChatGPT App Store. And then obviously over here we have the components that instruct, how the app is used. My app has finished building, so now all I need to do is to click deploy to productions, and then it's going to deploy to productions. It takes about, I don't know, a minute or two when you deploy, and then it will give you a link, and then you can use the link in ChatGPT. Okay, so it's building the project right now. It's gonna take a bit for it to finish deploying, and I will come back when it finished deployed. Great, it finished deploying. So I have a URL here of the deploy locations. I'm going to copy the link and go to ChatGPT, and then you guys know the drill. You go to apps and connector, and you're going to create a new app. Okay, so I'm going to try to see if it works. Yay, it works. Yay, it works. It even have a full screen mode. I'm super happy with my app. If you have an API that you want to convert into a ChatGPT app, just let me know. I will do that for you. You guys see how easy it is to build one. And if you have any questions, please let me know. Have fun and keep building.